Hey guys, it's Jackie and welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year and happy holidays to all of you guys. Today I'm going to do a different type of video. I've never done one of these before and I want to try to do more of these in the future. But I want to recap about the 2020 year and then talk about things that I'm looking forward to in the 2021 year. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you do, and let's get on with this video. 2020 for me was honestly really crazy, and I'm pretty sure that's something that everyone's gonna say, so I'm no different. We started the year off with hearing about World War III. I remember we ended 2019 and there's gonna be this whole Christmas gift from North Korea. Then we heard about forest fires, and then we went into the death of Kobe Bryant, and then I kept hearing about this thing called the coronavirus, and I remember we had all these jokes in school about it. We would talk about how drinking the beer Corona would get you COVID and all this other stuff, and things just didn't seem that serious for us. All of our teachers were like, don't worry, it's just like the flu. Just wash your hands and stay away from people. If you're sick, cover your mouth and stuff like that. And all of this stuff was just so far away from what we all believed. I remember the last day of school was March 13th, and not a lot of my friends came to school, but some of them did. And I remember walking in the building and it felt very eerie, like nobody was in the halls. Classes were really small. And I remember talking to my teacher and she was like, yeah, I'm just gonna clean this desk real quick. And my teacher would constantly sanitizing stuff throughout the day, and I was just like, okay, this thing is gonna be like a 2-week thing. People are gonna freak out for whatever. And then it was the end of the day and we got a tweet from my superintendent and he was like, school will be closed for the next 2 weeks. So we had our spring break and we weren't gonna go back to school till April. I remember getting that tweet and I was like, oh my God, what is going on? What is happening? I don't know what we're doing. And I remember my mom came and picked me up and she was like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, it just felt really weird today. And I remember everyone kept saying things felt really, really weird. We went to go pick up my sister from middle school, and then I went to the grocery store, and then everybody and their mom was at the grocery store. There were so many people there and they were like trying to stock up on food, trying to stock up on toilet paper. We could not find toilet paper anywhere. I was lucky that we did have toilet paper from the previous week, so we were safe on toilet paper. I hope you guys were safe with toilet paper. But I just remember things were really weird. I was supposed to go hang out with some of my friends on Saturday and I was going to go to the movies on Friday. But my mom was like, no, you're not allowed to leave. And I was like, it's not that serious. Why are we freaking out for no reason? It's just a 2-week thing. Not that serious. And then I ended up being on lockdown until January 1st, which is today. For me, COVID really impacted my life in ways that I never thought or imagined. COVID hit people in so many different ways, so this is just my experience and I want to take any away from anybody else. I remember I was supposed to go to Italy in April 1st. That was when I was supposed to leave. And the exchange girl was supposed to come on the March 13th weekend because we were going to go to VSCA. That was the weekend. And I was really sad because it's the big Virginia student conference and I was really looking forward to it, but obviously that got canceled because of COVID. But I remember the girl from Italy texted me, was like, oh yeah, we can't come anymore, but I hope you can come in April. And I was like, yeah, we should be good. Everything should be fine. But all the cases were rising in Italy in February. And then by the end of February, we were just told we weren't going to go, which was perfectly fine. I was sad about it, but obviously we're in a whole global pandemic. That was gonna be my spring break and that's what I was looking forward to, but obviously that didn't happen, and now I just saved the money. I didn't go to Italy and hopefully I can go on a trip in the nearby future. I was really close friends with an exchange student and he was supposed to stay there the whole year. I want to say late March, early April, he had to go back home to Germany because of the pandemic, because he was told that he could just go right back to school because things were supposed to be over in April. But unfortunately, he did have to go back home. April was a blur. I don't know if it's just me, but April was really confusing. I don't really remember much about April, but in March, I remember getting that COVID coffee, that whipped coffee, and my mom went on walks every single day. I think we hit 300 miles of walking since the pandemic started. My hair on the second day, because I was so bored, was entirely blue. I took hair wax and I went from here down and it was all blue, and let me just say, I would do it again. 10 out of 10 I would recommend for me to do my hair blue again. I loved that color. That was a good time. For me, I'm a very social person, so being on lockdown was really hard for me. I didn't spend that much time at home, so I didn't really know how to cope with being at home, which sounds really bad, but I would go to school and I would leave my house at like 6:50 in the morning, and I wouldn't come back home until like 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. And that's by the time I need to eat dinner and go to bed. So there wasn't that much for me to do. I had to really learn how to stay at home, learn how to like just chill at home, which wasn't something that I was really used to. My mom was a very introverted person, so she loved to be at home. So things were a lot easier for her than it was for me. And that kind of like really messed with my mental health, honestly. I think I had the hardest time coping with my mental health that I had my entire life, just really being in isolation and not seeing people, not seeing my friends, not really being used to, I was always so used to being able to control things in my life. Like I was able to make things happen because I wanted them to happen, but with the pandemic, I wasn't able to do any of that. I lost my trip to Denver, I lost Italy, I lost going to Virginia Tech for a vacation. I was going to spend my last summer as a high school student with my friends, and I couldn't do any of that. So I was really having a hard time learning how to manage myself without being able to control things, and that really made me sad all the time. I was constantly sad. Like I lost motivation to do a lot of things. Doing schoolwork was so hard. Like I did not know how to do online school, and it took a lot out of me to learn how to cope with the COVID depression, that's what they call it, and just trying to change my mindset into this is how this is going to be now. I have to learn how to adapt in isolation. I have to learn how to adapt in a lockdown. And that definitely was really hard for me, and it was hard for other people to understand what I was going through because it's two different things. People have different opinions about the pandemic, and people have different ways that they cope with the pandemic, and my way of coping was really hard. But with that being said, I found ways to cope in a different manner, and that's the biggest thing about this pandemic. Like I can go on and talk about how much 2020 sucked and how much things were awful for me, but at the same time I grew so much in 2020, more than I thought I would, more than I have my entire life. And that's what my big takeaway is of 2020. 2020 caused me to change my mindset, and 2020 caused me to look at things in a different way. My biggest thing that I loved about 2020 was really just finding new ways to celebrate. I was on SCA, like I've said multiple times, and our big thing for junior year was prom. We obviously didn't have a prom, and we didn't really do anything to find a new way around prom, but we did for this year, which is going to be really helpful and really exciting, and I'm excited to see how that goes out and plan. But I'm someone who loves birthday parties, and I love being able to celebrate, but birthday parades became one of my favorite things. I can honestly tell you, I think I planned like 15 birthday parades for different people. I love the idea of just driving by and seeing somebody and saying happy birthday. It keeps the process really small and really slow, but not slow, but like it keeps the celebration going. And I think that's a really good way that I want to honestly continue even when we're not in the pandemic. I think that idea is like so cool. I love being able to see my friends and seeing people that I haven't seen in so long and give them a gift and say happy birthday, and it keeps the situation really calm and collected. And I think birthday parades, I could go on and talk about birthday parades because I just love them so much. I had to learn how to adapt SCA events into the virtual world because I am senior class president. And that is something that has been really hard for me because not everybody's going to like what we do. And that's okay because we're trying our best in this pandemic, in this virtual time. And I think that what we've done so far has been really cool. We've been able to have our senior sunrise. We found ways to connect with other people without having to see each other all the time. And I think that was really helpful. I'm also really glad that I got to be able to get closer to people in my life. Some people that I've known for years, I just never really talked to them. We ended up becoming really good friends, and then I found new people to become friends with. I met people through people. I joined a Stan Twitter, and I became friends with all those people, and they're some of the nicest people all around the world. And so I'm really glad I met them, but I really just found true friendships and true and healthy friendships too. Like, I'm not upset when I'm with them. I'm genuinely happy with them, and I'll enjoy talking to them. And I feel like those are the people that I'm going to carry on with me throughout the end of high school and hopefully throughout the rest of my life. And I think that was a good thing, honestly, with the pandemic, because I was always a person who was like, nope, I'm not going to lose people. I'm always going to be friends with these people for the rest of my life. But it kind of had to make me realize that after I go off to high school, after I go off to college from high school, I am going to lose people. And so I think I found my mature friendships and friendships that I really do want to keep going on forever, and I'm excited to see them and when this pandemic ends, and I'm excited to see how our lives change. But that is something that I'm really glad that I got to experience in 2020. Also, I found out that I'm really creative. I built my confidence up to make a YouTube channel. So many people told me I should do it, and I just never really had the courage or the time to do it. And that's one of the biggest things that I'm so proud of myself for doing in 2020. Not everyone's gonna like my content, not everyone's gonna support me, but I like what I do and I'm having so much fun doing this. So the people who watch my videos and then the platform YouTube has been one of the greatest things 2020 has brought me, honestly. Going back on the creativity, I got really into baking, and I even got a cake decorating kit for Christmas and for my birthday. I've just learned that I like baking, and I'm actually somewhat good at it. Like, I'm gonna have to learn new tips and tricks, obviously, and I'm gonna have to practice it. But it's something that honestly like de-stressifies me, and it's something fun I'm able to do. My mom's even letting me make her birthday cake for her birthday, and I made a Christmas cake and all this other stuff. It's just like, wow, I didn't know I had these skills, and that's something that I was really happy that I was able to find out about myself. And fingers crossed, hopefully by the end of 2021 I'll have a small baking business, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, so I'm editing this video right now as I speak, and my tripod literally just broke, but the footage for this one cut out, so I wanted to definitely add it because it was really important to me. But I learned more about fighting for my rights and advocating for myself with the whole Black Lives Matter protest. I really did learn how to use my voice and stand up for things that I really did believe in. And that was something that I really enjoyed about 2020. And I loved seeing how everyone was able to come together and really fight for stuff that we just knew that was important and that we knew we had to fight for. And so I was able to use that, especially with the college process. I was able to talk about my voice and raise awareness for things that I was passionate about, and that's something that I'm glad 2020 brought me. Last but not least, I found new hobbies. Like, I've talked about how I made a YouTube channel, I did a lot of TikToking, and I write and stuff like that. I also found new interests. I enjoy K-pop. Thank you, Priscilla. I really enjoy learning about different cultures, and I hopefully will learn Korean this year. We'll see that in a couple of minutes when I talk about that. But I found things I was interested in. I got right back into Avatar. I started watching anime. I started watching K-dramas, started writing, and I really just found new things about myself that I didn't think I was going to enjoy. And I ended up loving it, and I hope that I can continue these in the future. I know that the first part of this video has been really crazy and jambly, and I hope you guys can understand what I'm saying. Let's see when I edit this if this makes any sense. But 2020 was really hard for me, and I wanted to focus on some of the positives. 2020 was really crazy with the pandemic, and I hope all of you guys are staying safe and you guys are all okay. I definitely had my fair share of COVID because my dad is an essential worker. He did get COVID, and so did my mom, and that's one of the hardest parts about 2020 for me personally. I had to learn how to deal with taking care of both of my parents who were sick, as well as making sure my sister was okay and making sure that I was okay while they were fighting COVID in October of this year. That had to be one of the scariest 15 days of my life, because as they weren't really bad, like, there were a lot of people who had worse symptoms and were really struggling. They were asymptomatic, so they didn't go through that much pain, but it was still really scary to see my parent not be able to see my parents for 15 days because they were quarantining by themselves, and then trying to find ways that I was able to make sure that I was still getting my schoolwork done, making sure my sister was okay, making sure my parents were okay. And that honestly scared me so much, and it really did make me more grateful for my parents, now that I wasn't grateful for them before. But it is hard to take care of people, and I did not realize that until I had to take care of 3 people in my house. And then my dog died in August, which was really, really hard on me because I have never really had close people to me that have died before, and so it kind of made me open my eyes to really what death was like and stuff like that. But I know a lot of you guys have had parents that have suffered with COVID, parents who have died with COVID, family members who have died with COVID, and I don't want to take away from what you guys have gone through with COVID. All the people who have died during COVID, I don't want to take away from that at all, and that is one of the worst parts about 2020. And I can honestly say that I wish that it was over, and I wish that people would just wear a mask and this could be over, but we aren't. But if you're a friend of mine or you're watching this video, please make sure you're wearing a mask. Please social distance. If you're gonna see some friends, just see one friend a week maybe. Don't constantly see people, just because we want to get this thing somewhat under control. And I hope you guys are all staying safe. And now I'm gonna get into 2021. Okay, so 2021 is kind of an exciting year for me. It is my graduation year. I am a senior in high school, so 2021 is a big deal. I have a lot of resolutions this year, and I always have resolutions, but this year I have different ones, and I think they're a lot better than I normally would have. I've always had really outlandish ideas like I'm gonna be on Broadway by the end of this year, or I'm gonna be famous by this year, or this, that, and the other. But this year I have a lot of very condensed ideas, and I feel like they're a lot more attainable, and this is the part of the video that I want to react to at the end of the year. So hopefully I completed these, and I'm going to show you what they are. I'm sure this is a goal that everybody has. I've had this goal for the past like 10 years of my life, and that is to work out and be healthy. But this year I want to do it in a different way. I want to make sure I maintain a healthier lifestyle, because most of the time a lot of us are like, we're going to lose 45 pounds and then yeah. But my goal is to really maintain a healthy lifestyle so that I can start this now and I can continue on for the rest of my life, because I don't want to be 30 and have broken bones, or be 60 and not be able to climb Mount Rushmore. I don't know if you can actually climb Mount Rushmore. Anyways, but I want to make sure that my life is healthy and happy, and that means I'm taking care of myself physically and mentally. So having a healthier lifestyle is my goal for 2021. My second resolution is to learn a language. I really got into Korean and learning about the Korean culture, and so that's something that I definitely want to practice, and I want to dedicate like 35 to 30 minutes a day learning the Korean language, as well as getting back into Spanish. Spanish is something that I definitely want to learn and I want to become fluent in, because where I live, a lot of people do speak Spanish, and I feel like it's something that I should know. Like, why not? So I want to be able to learn Korean and Spanish by the end of the year, not be fluent, but be able to have a conversation with people in both of these languages. And so hopefully that I can continue my 5 to 30 minute practice a day, and I've at least learned how to have basic conversations in Korean and can have more elevated conversations in Spanish, because I did take Spanish from 6th to 10th grade. This one is a little more general than a lot of my other ones, but it's being more creative. During the pandemic, like I've said like multiple times, it did allow me to become more creative, and I want to be able to be more creative on this channel and then just in my everyday life. And by being more creative, I'm going to dedicate time to really understand the process of YouTube, make better videos, make better content. Why did I say content like that? Make better content and really learn different tricks and tips and reach out for help from other people. I just want to be able to really give my best foot forward on this channel, and then every day in my life. I want to spend more time baking and really decorating cakes and making pretty desserts and stuff like that. So I hope that I can do that, as well as being more creative when it comes with my writing and really getting my idea started for the future career that I really do hope to have, which is being somewhere in the media film. Don't know where, but really becoming more creative is something that I really hope to do. Then with being creative, I also want to learn how to do makeup. Like, I do this basic thing, but I have no idea how to put on eyeshadow. I have no idea how to do eyebrows, and I feel like that falls under creativity. So learning how to do makeup is one of my other resolutions, as well as learning how to do my hair. I do the same hairstyle every day, and I want to be able to get better at doing my hair. So hopefully these are some resolutions that I'm able to complete in 2021. I want to become more eco-conscious or conscientious. I think it's conscientious, or is it cautious? It's one of those words, but I want to be more environmentally friendly. We'll do that one because it's easier to say. But I feel like I don't do the best at, I recycle, but I don't do a lot when it comes to the environment. I want to get more into like gardening and like taking care of plants, reducing my waste, use more eco-friendly products. Like, I got a bamboo toothbrush and I got bamboo for floss, or it's like some eco-friendly floss, and really just finding ways that I'm able to substitute my life to fit a better eco-friendly lifestyle. So I hope that I can inspire other people to really just find better ways to take care of the environment. Maybe I pick up trash, do like a trash clean day, or just finding ways to make sure that our planet stays healthy, because this is the only planet that we have, and I want to make sure that it's clean for future generations. Redoing my room has been something that I've loved doing during the pandemic, and I've done a lot to my room. I was never ever in my room, so there was no reason for me to do it. But like, I bought a desk, I bought this stuff, I paint my bathroom, and you'll see that later on. I got in a bookshelf and stuff like that, and I just want to put more decor in there, as well as put decor in my bathroom. I might not be here next year, but when I come home, I want to have a nice space to see when I come back home for college, or honestly I still see myself being at home for college. So might as well have a nice room to come back to. So I hope that that's something I can finish doing and actually have my room look set up, because it's a process right now. It's not completely done, but I'm excited to see it. This is a resolution that's kind of random, but I want to learn how to journal more. I really want to take time to really reflect about my day, plan ahead, make goals for myself and stuff like that. So I want to learn how to journal better and do a lot of fun designs. I see them all over Pinterest all the time. So that's something that I want to learn how to do, because why not? It looks really pretty and I kind of want to do it. Now, this is my last and my most important goal, because I have a very big shopping problem. Half the time I'm not even buying stuff for me, I'm buying stuff for other people, but I spend a lot of money. And I know that if I'm going to college or just being a functioning adult, I need to learn how to budget my money. So I want to open a savings account, open a credit card so I can have good credit, because I don't want to be in like the TurboTax commercials. I don't want to be in bad credit. I want to have good credit in the future. So getting myself into good credit, saving my money, being more financially stable is something that I definitely want to work on. So hopefully I can get a job sometime when this pandemic is over. I've gotten a lot of ads for virtual jobs, so maybe that's something I'll do in the future. But I want to become better at saving my money and planning ahead for the future, because I don't want to be broke when I get out of college, and I want to be able to make sure that I know how to budget my money and be a well-functioning adult before I leave for college. So this pretty much wraps up my video about 2020 and my goals for 2021, and I hope that I really did complete this. I'm sorry this video was definitely all over the place. It was mostly me ranting about things that have happened, and it wasn't the most concise video, but I do hope you guys got to learn a little bit more about me and my goals and how 2020 affected me. And I do want to know more about you guys, so in the comments down below, let me know how 2020 was for you and things you're looking forward into the 2021 year. I keep saying school year, something about school. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you do, and I will catch you guys in the video next time. Bye.